Welcome to the introduction of Adobe Illustrator CC 2020. My name is Tanya Johnson and I will be your instructor for this tutorial. The materials that you will be needing is your copy of Adobe Illustrator software. You can purchase the software through Adobe at www.adobe.com. You will also be needing a laptop or computer and a 3-button mouse. If you have a Wacom tablet and a pen, feel free to use that as well. The textbook that you will need is Adobe Illustrator 2020 Release, Classroom in a Book by Brian Wood. It is the official training workbook from Adobe. You can download the lesson files by going to www.adobepress.com/Illustrator C I B 2020. If you have downloaded your lesson files, go ahead and double click on L1 Start. And once you open it, this is the file that you're gonna see. The first thing that you need to do is go to Window up at the top, go to Workspace, and click on Essentials. After you click on Essentials, go back up to Window, down to Workspace, and click on Reset Essentials. After you do that, you'll see we have the same screen. I also like to go up to View, and I always turn on my rulers, which my rulers are already on. So you can do that by going to View, Rulers, and yours should say Show Rulers. On the left side of the screen, this is your tools panel. This is where you'll find all the tools that you need. 3 little dots down here. That's just where you can find more tools that you would need. Over to the right is your panels. You have your properties panel. It shows your document, unit, your ruler and grid, your guide, snap options, preferences. If you click over one tab, that is your layers tab and your libraries tab. Go ahead and click back on properties, and we are going to add and learn how to dock a new panel right over here. Go to Window and click on Appearance. This is a panel. You can, if you click and drag, you can drag it anywhere you want it to be, but we are going to go ahead and dock it right in here. So when you see the bold blue above the Property and Layers panel, you can go ahead and dock it there, and it'll be above everything. Or you can take it and you can dock it down below, and it'll be here at the bottom. If you wanted to, you could dock it inside if you have a thin blue line around the total of the border, and it'll become a new tab. Let's not do that. Let's put it up top. In your Appearance tab, it's just an easier way to see your fill colors that you have and the stroke width, opacity, any effects that you add to any. So now you have learned how to dock new panels. Let's go over here to the toolbars over on the left side, and the first tool that is up here is your selection tool. Now that is the most important tool. Down below that, if you just hover over it, you can see that is called your direct selection tool. That tool selects anchors and points directly instead of just whole objects itself. You see how it the tools have this white arrow. If you click and hold that, more tools will show up that are related to that tool. There is group selection tools and lasso tool. Down below your direct selection tool is your pen tool. You also have an anchor point tool that comes in handy. Down below that is your curvature tool, and then you have your rectangle tool, and if you hold down on, and you'll see you'll have different options like rectangle, ellipse, polygon, star, and line segment tool. Then you have a paintbrush, paint blob brush tool, and a pencil tool. The pencil tool and the paintbrush tool can be used for free-handed drawing. Down below that you have your text tool. You can type regular text, you can type on a path, and you can type in vertical. Then you have a rotate tool. It comes in handy when you want to rotate your objects. If you click and hold that little arrow, it's going to take you to scale tool, reflect tool, and your shear tool. Below that is your eraser tool and your scissors tool. You have a shape builder tool, gradient tool, and the mesh tool. This comes in handy when you want to create objects that look 3D. Eyedropper tool, width tool, blend tool, artboard tool, a zoom tool, and this is your fill color. The solid one is your fill color, and right below that is your stroke color. Right now it has a red line through it because there is no stroke on the object that is currently selected. Go ahead and click on your selection tool and click right here in the green area. If you look over in your panels tool over here on the right, you can see that it has no stroke. The fill is green. If you scroll down, the opacity is set to the default settings. The effect is set to green. It'll also tell you other things like where it's at exactly on the board and its width and height. You can also see what gradient it has and edit the type of gradient it uses. So now that we have learned all that, let's learn how to move a tool. Grab your selection tool and grab this first green leaf right here. And I want you to click in the color part, and we are going to click and drag it down right over the top of the letter K and keep it real. Now you can see the bounding box. These blue lines with the squares is called the bounding box. If you take and hover over the anchor, these little squares right here are called the anchor points. You can click and drag to change its shape. You see how it's changing shape. Now a little trick, if you want it to stay the same proportions as it is currently, hold down shift and then start sizing, and it will stay exactly how it was. If you notice, if you hold your mouse around the outside of that bounding box just a little bit, you can get the rotate tool to automatically appear. So go ahead and mess around with that, rotate it and fit it in. You can change the shape, rotate it around any way you want. Alright, one other thing that you would like to see up here is called your control panel. Go up to window, go down to control and click that. Now you'll see you also have pretty much the same thing that's over here on your panels, but you can see it up here on the top as well. I like to use that a lot and have that open. Alright, click back on the green, the fill, and if you double click over here in your properties panel under appearance and fill, just double click that, you'll see that the gradient options open because they're using a gradient. If you wanted to change the gradient to a different type, you could choose a different color, but for now let's leave it the way it was. If you've already clicked something, that is okay. Just a good way to undo what you did is either go up to edit, undo, or the shortcut is Control Z, and it's back to the way it was. So now that you've learned how to set up your workspace over here on the panels, how you've learned to dock panels, let's go ahead and save this workspace. So how you do that is you're going to go up the window, go to workspace, and then you're going to scroll down to new workspace. You're going to change the title of this workspace to, you can put my name workspace. For me, I'm going to put tutorial workspace. And click OK. Now anytime you want to go back, and say if you open up Adobe Illustrator and the workspace does not look like this and you know something's off but you're not quite sure, just go up to Window, go down to Workspace, and you will see your new workspace that you labeled up here at the top, and you'll just click on that and then it'll reset it to how we have it now.